Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this conference call featuring the main bout and number one contender bout fighters from the Bellator Champion Series San Diego event. The lightweight world title contenders Usman Nurmagomedov and Alexander Shabliy, and number one welterweight contenders Lorenz, Larkin, and Levan Chokheli. Without further ado, let's kick things off by welcoming our number one welterweight contender bout athletes, Lorenz, Larkin, and Levan Chokheli. We will open it up to the floor for media, and I believe, Gabby, you will be choosing media to ask their first questions.
Hello.
Yes. First question to Ryan Rappaport.
Thanks, Gabby. I'm off mute. Hey, Lorenz. So having gone through the Strikeforce UFC merger in past, now the Bellator PFL merger, what are some of the biggest challenges and opportunities that you can see for the fighters during these transitions?
For the fighters, just just to be honest, man, it's just like being a fighter, like really being a true fighter and fighting, because it just translates like as if like a regular company took over another company. All those old employees are like trying to show everybody they can work, you know what I mean? So that they don't get the boot. So I mean, that's from my experience, that's what I've seen. Is if you're trying to just skim by on trying to be hard to deal with, pick easy ass fights, and just there's it's not a good. You have to be a company man, but you also have to be obviously a fighter too, and take care of yourself. But you got to show that you really want to fight, and if you don't, you get the boot. I mean,
well, I mean, you are coming off a massive knockout, and you've mentioned in the past that you're most dangerous when you're staying active. But obviously, you haven't been getting in maybe as many fights as you want to, just twice this year recently. How do you plan on changing that and trying to stay more active, especially within this current Bellator PFL structure?
You know what? I don't. That's a whole part of the thing that we're in talks with. This is my last fight on my contract, so these are things that are really important to me going into me re-signing and things like that, is just being more active. So I'm not one of these, I guess, considered the old guys in the sport or whatever, but don't treat me like one of these old fucks. Like, I like to be active. I don't like this whole 2 times a year shit that they have me on. It's just like, I want to be active.
What do you think will influence your decision whether or not you continue with the PFL, or could you see yourself exploring other avenues?
I don't know, man. I would, don't get me wrong, I would love to be at PFL and stay here, as long as we can both come to a mutual agreement, so for the most part, those are my hopes, but obviously everything's open. But for my main thought process is to work it out and go from there.
Yeah, man, and you've always been a really respectful competitor, and you've expressed some of the frustration, particularly around like the trash talk overshadowing rankings. But do you see that PFL format? Obviously, you're with Bellator Champion Series, but do you see that PFL format helping to shift that focus back to performance over promotion?
Exactly, man. It's I've been fortunate enough to see all the trends, and I'm pretty sure you guys in the media you see all the little like trends in the whole sport, where how it used to be, and then kind of where it is. But then I still feel like it is starting to just not get away from how it was really, at the height of everything. I feel like it's calming down a little bit from where everybody just thinks that, the whole Conor McGregor era, and you can talk your way into a fucking title fight, I think it's starting to trickled down a little bit. You know what I mean? But we'll see where it goes. But you know, I've seen we're just the best guys are going against the best guys, you know, and you know, obviously I get it. Shit talking is a part of the sport and I love it, you know, but at the end of the day, if you cannot back it up, then the shit is no good. Like you can't just be a good shit talker and you're losing fights and doing all this other stuff. So I respect the guys that can shit talk and they back it up, but for these guys, you know, I just feel like a lot of guys are getting in the sport or not even getting in the sport, but finally getting on the main stage. And then they think that they could talk a little shit. And then I just see it over and over and over. These guys they come in, they get their ass whooped a couple times and they get the boot. And I'm just like, what'd you think that was going to happen? Like you can't survive just off shit talking. You have to back it up.
Yeah, thanks, Lorenz. And Levan, you know, it's been almost a year now since you've last competed. Talk a little bit about that time off and what you've been doing to stay ready for a big fight like this, particularly after coming off of a knockout of the year candidate from last year.
Hello. I was waiting a long time to my next fight. And you know, I'm from Georgia and I need some visa, I need green card to live here, to stay here. And I was working on my green card and thanks God, I got my green card, everything is good. And during the winter, most event was in Europe and I could not leave country, USA, because it took a little bit long time, but I did not stop even 1 week. I was training every day. You know, I'm upcoming and I was learning every day.
Well, congratulations on the green card. Have you been able to go back to? Have you been able to go back to Georgia at all, or has this all been a DC area training camp?
This fight camp was in DC, in Virginia. Now I'm in Miami, trying in King Cliff.
That's great.
In King Cliff, yes.
Talk to me a little bit about how you see the current state. There are so many of Georgian MMA. I mean, there's so many great athletes who are coming over from Georgia and fighting across all of the top organizations. Where do you see Georgian MMA going?
Good question. You know, a lot of people doesn't know our story of our countries, and our country is one of the oldest history with a lot of warriors, and our country was many times in war. And you know, when you're staying when you are in a fight, your genetic fighting going in your genetic. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, our mentality is strong. If you see, every Georgian's mentality is like untouchable, like so, like a stone. And I want to say, in last Olympic Games in Paris, one of my cousin, he won gold in judo, 90 kilo, and congrats to him. And I was so happy, and now it's my time.
Some great training partners to have.
And also in future, you asked me or what I see in Georgian MMA, and there is a lot of amazing fighter in Georgia, and they can't come in USA, and it takes a little bit long time, but in future, we're gonna take over.
Well, wishing you both best of luck. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Next question, Damon Martin.
Question for Lorenz. Lorenz, you mentioned this being the last fight on your deal, and I remember talking to you back in, I think it was 2016 when you were a free agent in the UFC. Can I ask, I know you've signed a lot of contracts, I'm sure, since then, but can I ask what you've learned about free agency and MMA contracts in these last 8 years since that very publicized free agency in 2016?
I would just say for me, I like to speak is for me. I'm always willing to bet on myself. And know my worth, you know what I mean? So I think that's just kind of what it boils down to. If you really believe in yourself, then, you can either try to work it out or test the waters, you know what I mean? But it all boils down to you, you know what I mean?
How much when you look at the landscape of MMA? I mean, obviously you got you still got UFC out there, of course, PFL and Bellator out there. But do you feel like the options for you are as wide open as they were before? Do you see yourself saying, "Hey, I really do want to return to Bellator"? Like, where's your head at going into this? Because again, you're saying you're gambling on yourself, you're betting on yourself, but that's always a risk.
No, yeah, guaranteed. Um, just to kind of put it in perspective, like so say in 2000, my last fight on UFC, they told me that they were gonna wait and let me fight and then we'll talk then, you know what I mean? And I just took it as like, okay, like I'm betting on myself. And fucking the whole house on me. And went in there, I took care of business. And then same thing when I had to renew my contract in LA. I renewed my contract, my post weigh-in meal. So the day before the fight, I resigned when I fought Berkhamov. And same thing, I told them all the way up, like, hey, I will bet on myself all the time. So it's up to you guys, to if we can work this out. If not, then you guys let me fight and then we'll talk. So either we can do it before the fight or we could do it after the fight, but it's up to you guys. And from a business aspect of it, thank God they resigned before the Berkhamov fight. They signed the day before I fought. And I had a devastating KO on that fight, so it's all, I'm always going to bet on myself. And yes, it is dangerous, but it's not a team. It's a team sport, but it's not, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm in there and I control what's going on. I don't have to worry about this guy and that girl. I mean, whatever, this guy doing shit to make us win. You know what I mean? Like, it's me in there. I got to focus on me and I control me. So that's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah. And last one for you, Lorenz. It's kind of a weird one because you say last fight in the contract, it seems like you've had a good relationship with Bellator, and I assume hopefully the same with PFL now, but it's also like a number one contenders fight. So it's like you win, you get a title shot. But so what's weighing on your mind more in terms of like going into a fight? Is it, I want to go out there and fight and win and get a new contract? Is I want to fight and win and go fight for a title? Because that's a lot kind of rolled into one spot here.
I'm not worried about the contract at all. That's the last thing on my mind. Just this whole camp has just been just training. Be smart it's the same as every camp, man. Train smart, be healthy, and show up to the fight. And if you guys have done any type of homework on me, when I sign for a fight, I am there on the day. You know what I mean? And it's always been like that. I train smart, I train hard, and I show up for the fight.
Thanks, Lorenz.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Joe Lay.
Jolie here for Title Sports Network. It's good to see you guys both on the call here today. Question for both of you, either of you can go first. With the Olympics just finishing yesterday night, how important do you think it would be for the growth of the sport to see MMA in the Olympics? And do you think this will happen? Either guy first.
Oh, Levan could go first.
You're with corner, brother, and you're bigger than me. Let's go.
I don't know, man. The Olympics, as far as there's a lot of dumb fucking sports in the Olympics, man. So it's just it's I don't know, man. At this point, what's already in there, it's almost like I'm almost at the point like keep us the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? Like they got breakdancing, they have fucking power walking. I don't even know. There's a couple of sports that I have absolutely no clue why they're in there. So at this point, this is my opinion. Like I'd rather not even be associated with that shit. I don't know.
What I think is, I think that will be good for amateur fighters, but there is one issue where I say why people love MMA, because there is a blood, there is a pain, there is a smash, and in amateur MMA is with big gloves, little bit shin guards, headgear, and there is no elbow, and it won't be good for Lorenz too. And you can't do it whatever you want in amateur MMA. But for us, I think that for martial art, it will be so good if MMA join in Olympic. But for us, for professional fighters, doesn't matter, because we are different, and amateur fighting is different.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Next question, Jay Anderson. Next question, Mike Pendleton.
Lorenz, I know you say you're not focused on the contract. It's just the fight right now. So let me just ask you, what do you make of Levan as an opponent coming into this one?
It's good, man. Like I think I'm the fucking I'm like the greatest in type of employee, for Bellator and PFL. These guys they're coming up hungry, and I'm always the that guy that's like give me them. I don't give a shit, So he's tough, and it's like I'm always asking for that. Like I don't want the whole gimme fights, and sometimes in my past, I've had fights like that, but it's because of the guy I was originally supposed to fight didn't make it to the fight. Either got injured or something like that, and I had to take, like a last minute fight. But for the most part, man, when they're matching me up with these killers. I'm not getting like these other guys, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know what they're just giving me the hungry wolves, and that's the whole purpose why I'm fighting. That's what keeps me in this game and keeps me evolving, not fighting these old dogs, you know what I mean? Fighting these young up and comers.
Speaking to that, you've also mentioned, the level of activity you want to have, speaking on, negotiations for your next contract. Obviously, if you took care of business, your next fight would be a title fight. But then is it just these big, exciting, we've seen the crossover between Bellator and PFL event this year, or is it just these big, massive fights with young, hungry wolves that you would like moving forward as well?
Yeah, I always welcome the tough fights, man, because at the end of the day, that's what brings the best out of me and keeps me hungry, you know what I mean? And keeps me gravitating towards this sport. I'm not, I've said it many of times throughout the years, like I'm not this guy who's fully indulged in MMA. Like outside of when I'm not training and shit like that, I have nothing to do with MMA. Like nothing, unless it's like a big fight I'm watching. But other than that, I don't want to talk about fighting. I don't want to do none of that shit about fighting. So for me, it's always been for the feeling I get when I'm fighting. And, when I'm going against a tough guy who's really hungry, or just a upper tier opponent, this is what drives me. This is what gets me excited about MMA again. You know what I mean? Because if not, to me, it's just like I don't even really care for it. The only thing is that really gives me that fix is guys that are really hungry and they're talented that are coming in the fight me, so that's what I get my shits and giggles off of.
Thank you. And Levan, one for you, kind of similar to what I asked Lorenz. What would it mean to you, with this being a number one contenders fight, to have a win over a guy like Lorenz on your way to a title fight if you were able to get the job done?
Now I training all my life. Now it looks like I'm in my dream. I'm not coming for Lorenz. I have my dream, and I need to win this one, and then only one step and took my belt, take my belt, and I wanna be best. When there is a business, for example, contract, I never asking some another stuff, blah blah blah, negotiation. I wanna be best. Like he said, when they give me fighters fight, I never said no. I never say no for fight, because I think I'm best. I'm one of the best. I'm gonna be champion, and if I think I'll be best and I'm best, I have to fight with tough guy, right? And I have a big respect with Lorenz. He had a amazing career with fight with them, the best fighters in the world, and it's for me it's make me excited, because my last fight was with big name, and now it will be with biggest name, but it doesn't matter. I'm coming for belt, no matter what.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man.
Last question with these two goes to Jay Anderson. Trying to see if he can unmute.
There is no question. I have a question with Lorenz.
You have a question?
Yes. How are you, brother? How are you doing, man?
Good, man. Yourself?
Good, brother. Thanks God, everything going good.
You looking healthy.
Yes. I'm doing my best. Stay healthy, brother.
Great. Yes, sir. You too.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'm going to ping it over to Carissa to wrap us up with these guys.
All right. Thank you, Lorenz and Levan. We look forward to seeing you in San Diego. And Lorenz, I know you're excited to start throwing some elbows again. It's been a while. So we look forward to seeing you in a few short weeks. Thank you so much. You guys are free to go. And we're going to pull up our next two fighters. Of course, the main event, our lightweight world title event athletes, Usman Nurmagomedov and Alexander Shabliy. Please stay on the line while we bring them in. And thank you guys. Enjoy camp.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you, all of you guys. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, let me see if I can pin these guys. Alex, are you able to put your camera on?
This is Eli with eMedia. Just thought I'd chime in real quick between breaks. So.
Yeah, Eli, did you have something you would like to say?
Well, I had a question for one of the fighters, but I guess
Yes, I think they both jumped off. We're just waiting for our main event to hop on now.
Awesome, no problem.
And Alex will be translating as well.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Alex, I can hear you. Is it possible to ask Shabliy to turn his camera on?
Сань, можешь камеру включить? У тебя сейчас камера выключена. Да, я здесь. Hello, everybody.
Perfect. Okay.
Hello, Alexander.
Hi. Сань, привет.
Только что в отель приехал.
Alex, can you ask Usman to turn his camera on as well?
Усман, можешь тоже камеру свою включить, чтобы тебя было видно?
What's up, guys?
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right, Carissa, take it away.
Okay, as I said, we have our main event for the Bellator Champion Series San Diego lightweight title fight between Usman Nurmagomedov and Alexander Shabliy. We're going to open up the floor to media for questions. Just like before, please raise your hand using the reaction tab. And when Gabby calls on you, remember to unmute. So the floor is now open.
All right, first question goes to Mike Pendleton.
Thank you for the time, guys. Alex, just how excited are you to finally have this fight here? Just a few weeks away. How excited are you for this fight?
Александр, как ты себя сейчас чувствуешь? Насколько ты воодушевлен этим боем предстоящим? Насколько для тебя это значимый бой?
Приветствую, Майк, спасибо за вопрос. Чувствую себя отлично. Прилетел в Майами неделю назад. Мой кэмп был в основном в России. Сейчас прошел акклиматизацию, наращиваю обороты. Все идет замечательно.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for your question. I'm feeling great. I've been here in Miami already for a week. Most of my camp was back home in Russia. That's where everything was done. And now I came here for acclimation, feeling great and ready to go.
Question I'm also going to ask Usman, but I'll ask you first, Alex. You guys have been with the promotion about the same amount of time, the same amount of years. How do you feel your career with Bellator has grown in comparison to his?
Усман, потом я тебя тоже этот вопрос спрошу. Сейчас сначала вопрос Александру. Вы примерно в этой организации оба выступали уже примерно по одно и то же количество лет. Как ты чувствуешь, организация тебя представляет? Как ты себя комфортно чувствуешь, находясь в этой организации?
Я провел в этой организации 5 боев, и все, что я заслужил, это благодаря этим боям. Я не знаю, насколько мне благоволила удача, я знаю, насколько я заработал это все своим трудом. На сегодняшний день я имею амбиции забрать этот пояс, и тот шанс, который мне выпал, я, конечно же, благодарен организации побороться за титул.
Yes, I already had 5 fights with Bellator, and everything was going great and still going great. You know, I'm obviously respecting what they've done for me, and I'm doing all the best I can. I train hard. I put a lot of work in, and I think I deserved this title shot, and I think it's a great opportunity for me to get this belt, and that's my main goal right now.
Thank you. And Usman, for you, what would it mean to beat a guy like Alexander on your resume?
Усман, вопрос тебе. Насколько для тебя принципиально победить такого соперника, как Алекс, добавить его к себе в резюме?
Hello, guys. No, this is the same thing like before, guys. It's not like something different. Same guy who was lose before, and nothing. Just name and that's it.
Just name. Well, I'll ask the same question I asked him. Obviously, you have remained undefeated in your career. How would you compare your time with Bellator in comparison to Alexander's?
У тебя есть хороший момент, то, что ты до сих пор не побежденный. Твое пребывание в организации Bellator, насколько ты его считаешь продуктивным, сравнивая с успехами Александра?
No, brother, I'm feeling great. You know, I grew up too fast in this organization, and that's why I think I deserve title. I won my title. I defend my title. You know, and I not gonna be lose my title never. It's not like title. It's mean like myself. I believe nobody can beat me never. This is what I believe. And we'll see September 7 when cage gonna be closed. we're gonna be talk. Then we'll talk.
Thank you both. Looking forward to it.
Next question, Kaz Crosley.
Hi guys, Kaz Crossley for Title Sports Network. My first question is to Usman, and it is basically there's rumors that you're not in the UFC because Islam Makhachev obviously holds the title, and if he was to retire or move division, that's where you'd be going. Are those rumors true?
Усман, вопрос тебе. Наверняка уже многие тебя спрашивали. Сейчас, понятное дело, Ислам чемпионом является в UFC. Если, допустим, Ислам уйдет, твой план такой, чтобы потом передвинуться, перейти в UFC?
To be honest, I'm not thinking about this right now because of I have goal, and I'm going to take my goal. You know, like I have a date, I have a day, and I need to defend my title. After that, we'll see what's gonna happen. First of all, I need to defend my title. I have a name, I have opponent. All focus on this.
And you and Khabib as a family is undefeated. How important is it for you to keep that undefeated record going? What does it mean for you?
You know, I understand. You know, I'm not doing all of my focus like about be unbeaten. No, I know myself. I know like nobody can beat me. Never. This is what I believe. This is who I am, and that's it.
And how do you keep that mindset, like that you are the best and no one can beat you?
Year over year, I'm working so hard. I believe like everything from God. God give us everything, and like that.
And this is a question for both fighters. Who, in your opinion, is the best lightweight in the world in any promotion? So you can go first, Usman.
Right now or ever?
Right now.
Right now, my opinion is first Islam, second me.
And all time?
If you for all time, Habib.
Yeah. And same question to you, Alex.
Now for me, I think Islam. I think Islam now number one. All time, my opinion, Fedor.
Thank you. And my last question is to Alex. How are you going to deal with Usman's kicks?
Вопрос тебе, Саня. Как ты будешь справляться с ударами ногами от Усмана?
I work every day. My team help me. Artem Levin, best striker, world champion. He helped me. I work.
Thank you. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next question, Damon Martin.
Couple questions for Usman. Usman, can you kind of give me a sense of what this last year has been like for you? You know, coming out of the Primus fight, the time off, and then kind of the delay in this fight getting made and having to push it back, now to September. Like, can you kind of give me a sense of what this last year has been like for you?
Alex, you ready?
Как для тебя последний год прошел? У тебя был хороший бой с Примусом, потом у тебя бой задержали. Чем ты занимался, как год провел?
Honestly, it was hard year. This year make me more strong, and in my mind, physically I'm grow up. I always working. Like nothing change, and I'm feeling great. I'm not lose nothing. I have only 26. And every day, every year, I'm become strong, not become old. No, for me, I'm good. Thank you for the question.
And I know that your cousin Khabib has never been away from working with you and helping you and getting you ready, but I know he has returned to cornering fighters again and being more present. Has that been a nice addition to your camp, as you get ready to defend your title, to have him around again in such a, in a little bit of a bigger role?
Хабиб уже, понятное дело, не дерется. В какое-то время он взял перерыв, ни у кого не секундировал. А сейчас мы видим, что он вернулся к секундированию опять ребят. Насколько важна для тебя его поддержка и что он сейчас работает вплотную с командой?
No, this is for us. This is like gift from God. People like Habib, these guys like you cannot find like this guy like around you. This is so hard to find someone like Habib. He support us so much. He helping, and he know everything about MMA like nobody know. And when he in camp, this is different. Like everything is different. You're feeling different. You like learning so much. You grew up yourself so much, and this is like I'm very thankful for God because of Habib we have.
And one more for Usman. I know over the weekend you had posted on your Instagram, congratulations to Ahmed Tazadinov, who won gold at the Olympics. Can I ask your opinion on the Russians? A lot of the Russians not being allowed to compete. I think a lot of people were upset about that. I know a lot of Russians still competed just for other countries, but can I get your thoughts on how that all played out at the Olympics this year? Because we missed out on a lot of the top Russians being able to compete.
About Ahmed Tazadinov, this is like young guy who just come and take everything what have like other guys. He Olympic champion, world champion. He won from 1 year. He won everything. I'm very glad about him, and I wanna congrats him again. About situation, like this is like politic. This is politic stuff, and I don't like to say something about this. Like I wanna be like like I don't know about this. This is like politic stuff and something like shit.
Yeah. And one question for Alexander. We spoke a few months ago before this fight was first made. I know there was some frustration on your side, just getting the fight made, the whole Grand Prix and everything. Have you been able to put all that behind you and now just focus on the fight and just focus on fighting Usman?
Александр, мы с тобой разговаривали еще, когда первый бой был запланирован. Я знаю, что потом это было перенесено. Насколько для тебя это раздражительно было? То есть насколько тебя повлияло то, что было перенесено все? Или ты это уже позади оставил и сейчас готовишься полностью к этому бою, даже не вспоминая об этом?
Я воспринял это как маленькую победу. Я не знаю, как сейчас себя чувствует Усман. Знаю, что в прошлый раз он был не готов, поэтому для меня это была маленькая победа. Сейчас готовлюсь ко второй большой. Вот. В принципе, вот.
For me, there was a situation where I felt that I was completely prepared, and then I felt like Usman maybe was not ready at the time. So for me, that was like a little victory, and now I'm ready for the big victory.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question, Ryan Rappaport.
Alex, I know you mentioned you're back in Miami. Pre-pandemic, you got to spend 4 months there. Eventually had to leave because of the pandemic. Can you ever see yourself training back in America full time?
Саша, ты занимался в American Top Team во Флориде еще до пандемии, потом за пандемией тебе пришлось, возможно, уехать. Сейчас я знаю, что ты уже здесь, но ты потенциально думаешь, в будущем ты, может быть, больше времени здесь проводить и тренироваться в American Top Team?
Слушай, я долгое время здесь провел, когда была пандемия, практически полгода я здесь тренировался. И как раз получил контракт, заключил сделку с Bellator. Дальше все мои 5 боев я готовился здесь. Мне здесь подходит климат, меня устраивают спарринг-партнеры, мне нравятся условия, которые предоставляет American Top Team. И в целом, в дальнейшем я планирую сюда прилетать на подготовку. Ну, для того, чтобы здесь жить, у меня нет желания. Я и с семьей здесь жил, и без семьи. У меня нет желания здесь жить. Я люблю то место, где я родился, поэтому каждый раз, когда я побеждаю, я возвращаюсь домой. В принципе, то же самое я сделаю и сейчас.
Yeah, my story with the ATT started pre-pandemic. I spent 6 months over there, and you know, I've been here with them, with the family. I brought my family here before. So when I signed with Bellator, all the 5 fights that I had, I would train at the ATT. Amazing team, you know, all the conditions, but it still doesn't feel like home. Even though I had an opportunity to fully move and train here, I still feel like I want to go back home. I want to, you know, go back to my hometown. But again, it's an amazing team, and I'm very thankful to them.
And also, this is obviously you guys had the earlier scheduled fight, but when you first found out that you were going to be fighting Usman, what was the reaction that you had, and was this something that you were excited about?
Понятное дело, что бой этот был уже перенесен 1 раз, но когда ты в первый раз узнал, что у тебя оппонентом будет Усман, что ты выходишь на эту возможность, какова была твоя реакция, насколько для тебя это было важным, то, что тебя оппонентом с Усманом делали?
Мы же дрались в Гран-при, поэтому я понимал, что я дойду до финала. С той стороны, с другой сетки шел Усман, и шансы его на победу тоже были большие, поэтому, в принципе, я понимал, что в финале мы можем с ним встретиться, и, ну, как бы психологически, ментально фокус мой был именно на него в финале. Поэтому все закономерно, и поэтому 2 сильных бойца встретились в финале. Но когда мне сообщили, что Усман выйдет из Гран-при, когда сказали, что у него нашли допинг, я расстроился, потому что мне нужна была победа именно над законным чемпионом, а не над временным, как это хотели сделать между мной и Примусом.
Well, since it was a Grand Prix announced and the way we were seated, I was on one side of the bracket, and then Usman was on the other end. So it wasn't like I didn't expect this fight to happen. Since the very beginning, I pretty much knew there was a very good chance we're going to face each other at the end. And then when this whole thing happened with the doping scandal, I was not really happy about the situation because they said potentially I might face Primus, and that wouldn't be a legit champion. I really wanted to fight Usman, and now we are you know, facing each other. So I'm very excited about this fight.
Thank you. And Usman, Islam Makhachev has said that you have potential to be the best in the world. How do you feel about that? And especially considers that one of the things that he thinks is that you can maybe be more disciplined and stay more focused. How do you approach that?
Усман, Ислам сказал, что у тебя очень хороший потенциал, чтобы стать лучшим бойцом в мире, когда время придет. И в то же самое время он сказал, что это поможет тебе стать еще более дисциплинированным. Насколько для тебя важны слова поддержки от него?
This is I got to hear this, but you know, we know this. That's it. We know this. Yes, everyone who have discipline, who have focus on his goal, he can be great champion. But you need just focus and discipline. I'm glad to hear from him about like good words about me. This is like my brother, not like teammate. Just
Well, and you carry the Nurmagomedov name. Obviously, all the success that Umar is having right now, that Khabib is carrying. Do you ever feel the pressure of living up to that legacy? And what do you think sets your training camps and that of the Nurmagomedov family across from everyone else?
I'm feeling great. You know, Umar won his last fight. He's gonna fight for the title, UFC bantamweight, and I'm gonna be defend my title, inshallah. And It's not pressure. I'm proud to be here.
Thank you.
Next question, Aminat Yunus.
Hi, I'm on Tunis Combat Talks UK. Firstly, for Usman, we saw Umar in his corner. He had Coach Habib. Will Coach Habib be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah. Yes, brother.
Also, in your camp, we have Magomed Bagandov, the coach. How much credit does he deserve for helping you and the rest of your team during camp with your striking?
Muhammad, he's our coach from our school in Russia, but this camp I trained without him. He was in New Jersey with Islam. After that, I go home, training there like couple weeks, and go to Dubai. And now I'm here in America. He didn't work to but work, and he's a great coach.
Obviously, Umar beat Corey Sandhagen. Who do you think is a better matchup for him? Sean O'Malley or Merab? Who do you think is easier for him?
No, fight never gonna easy, but our job make this easy for you guys. And I think Umar and Ameli gonna be great fight, big fight, you know.
Yeah. Talking about Alexander, how do you think he matches up with you, and what weaknesses do you think is in his game compared to yours?
Can you repeat the question?
What weaknesses do you see in Alexander's game that you will be
Какие
able
какие
to
слабости ты увидишь
I think his mind. I think his weakness is in his mind. When time gonna come, when cage gonna close, when after 2-3 rounds he gonna be tired, he will give up. I think like this, but we'll see.
One last one from me. Islam Makhachev talked about the opening ceremony of the Olympics and everything, all the controversy about that. What were your thoughts on the opening ceremony that happened earlier this month?
I agree with Islam. What he said, with everything, I agree.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good luck to you in the fight.
Thanks so much, brother.
Last question with these two goes to Joe Lay.
Jolie here for Title Sports Network. It's a pleasure to speak to you both. Usman, I'll come to you first, but it is a question for both. I can't see Alexander's camera on the moment, but the question is, you're in a leading MMA promotion across the entire world in Bellator. Why is it going to be you? This is your chance to tell the audience. Why is it going to be you that remains undefeated? You're both undefeated going into this fight. Why is it going to be you that remains undefeated after this fight?
Вы находитесь в одной из лучших лиг мира, оба непобежденные. Почему ты считаешь, что ты выйдешь из этого боя непобежденным?
Why I think about this? Because of brother, because I'm better. I'm better everywhere. Striking, grappling, wrestling, mind. I'm better everywhere.
And Alexander?
Тот же самый вопрос. Почему ты считаешь, что у тебя есть хорошие шансы выйти из этого боя непобежденным?
Only focus on the discipline, my technique, my skill better, I think, my opinion.
Usman mentioned a moment ago he feels there's weakness in your mind ahead of this fight. What do you make of that?
Усман ранее сказал, что он считает, что у тебя, может быть, ментально ты не так готов к этому бою. Что ты можешь на это ответить?
Я не знаю, почему так считают. У меня были тяжелые бои, у меня были разные бои. Ментально, наверное, это не то, к чему сейчас можно... Ментально не готов, наверное, это не то, к чему можно сейчас меня отнести. Мне 31 год, у меня уже были поражения, в принципе, мне бояться нечего в этом бою. Я дерусь за пояс, и мне терять нечего.
I think it's just his opinion. I don't know why he's thinking that way. For once, I already had losses, so I'm not that afraid to lose my, zero. So that's one thing. And I really had strong opponents. I had serious fights before. So it's nothing new for me. And I think I'm fully prepared. I'm just 31 and I'm hungry.
Thank you. It's going to be a great fight. Looking forward to it.
Finish.
All right, Carissa, take us home.
All right. Thank you both so much. And again, thank you to all the media members who called in to join us today. Tickets for the Bellator Champions Series San Diego are available now at axs.com. The event will take place at Pechanga Arena on September 7th, with the early card starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And all Bellator Champions Series events can be seen live in the U.S. on Max, as well as in the UK exclusively on DAZN. Thank you to our fighters. Thank you to media, and we will see you in a few short weeks at the Bellator Champions Series.